What up, everybody? This is kind of my I would like to see slash rant video quick. And it's about Diesel and his return. Um, there have been a bunch of people on YouTube that have seen videos that they're excited that Diesel returned, but they don't want to see him wrestle anymore. Because they don't want to see an older wrestler, turn into like Ric Flair, which I completely understand. I don't want any wrestler to turn into like Ric Flair. It's getting to the point where I can't even watch TNA because he rambles and his face gets so red and it looks like he's literally going to have a heart attack live on Impact. And I'm like, I can't watch this. I'm actually going to a show in in a couple weeks down there, a live Impact, and I don't want to see this guy die in front of me. You know what I mean? But I mean, I see that part of that side of the story, but people were so excited that he returned, and now they're saying that they don't want to see him wrestle again, or they don't want to see him wrestle more. They wanted to see that was his last match. Okay, but that's not. I don't see that being a very good last match. I mean, he was in there for a little bit, but he got eliminated. Um, and yeah, I didn't want to see him win the WrestleMania or the Royal Rumble and then go to WrestleMania. Maybe if he lost and didn't win the title, because I wouldn't want him to win the title and then keep going and then that turned into something big. Um, But at the same time, look at other superstars who have returned. When HBK returned, when I'm blanking right now. Bret Hart returned. You know, when all these superstars returned, and they're not they're they're not much older or younger than Diesel. You know what I mean? They and everyone was like happy that they've wrestled all this time. And even though Bret Hart, I think he only had like 2 matches or something like that, but still, people were like, "Don't go, don't go." Why is it okay for Bret Hart and HBK to keep going and keep wrestling for the fans, but they don't want Diesel to? I don't get that. I, I understand he may not be as big as uh, Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels or Ric Flair or any of those guys, but he's still big, and I would still love to see him wrestle a little bit more. You know, uh, I think, and I think this would be good for up and coming WWE fans. It would be great for the business. It would be great for fans. It would be great for younger fans to see a legend in the ring. See how wrestling used to be. You know, see a genuinely good wrestler. And not saying that WWE doesn't have good wrestlers and there's not good wrestlers out nowadays, but if you look back during the 90s wrestling and 80s wrestling and stuff like that, those were always good matches. You know what I mean? And then there was a point in WWE where it was just who can get the biggest guy. It's not like that anymore, thank God. But back in the day when I shouldn't even say back in the day, it wasn't that long ago. When they had superstars like Brock Lesnar, and big guys like that, they were impressive, but wasn't really good wrestling that much, like from a pro wrestling standpoint. At least to me, it wasn't. Um, and yeah, Diesel is a big guy, but Kevin Nash, whatever you want to call him. He's still a good wrestler. Um, he's big and he's powerful, but he's not like Brock Lesnar or one of those guys who, or even Batista, who just kind of went through wrestling with their size, with all their muscle and blah. He he could talk on the mic. Well, Diesel, Kevin Nash, throughout his career, Kevin Nash. He could perform in the ring. He could do backstage stuff. He was good. At least to me, I always liked him. Um, and I and like I said, I don't want to see him keep wrestling and keep wrestling and keep wrestling for like a couple of years more. But I'd like to see a few more matches, or at least one big match. Like whether it be between, whether they build something up between him and um, the Big Show because they had that big stare down. You know what I mean? Or Undertaker or Kane or something like that. Um, that would be any of those would be good matches to me. But I would like to see him wrestle a little bit more. And if you go on, I don't know if it's up still, but WWE.com had an interview with him where it seemed like he wanted to stay for a little bit to wrestle a little more, to stay in the company a little bit more. Like he wasn't just gonna do Royal Rumble and then split. You know what I mean? I think, and I hope that's true. I hope that he stays for a little bit. I don't think WWE would post something on the website like that and then not have him stay in some way. You know what I mean? I just don't think that would be good for business. Because WWE fans. You're a WWE fan. I'm a WWE fan. When they do something like that, if they did something like that, we'd get pissed, and it would hurt them. When WWE fans are hurt, the company's hurt. So I don't think that they would post something like that and then not follow through. Um, but again, we'll have to see. Um, but yeah, those are my thoughts. I hope he does come back in some way. All right, guys, see ya.